Okay guys, I'm going to show you today how to lay out an advertisement using Adobe InDesign. I just figured out, I've been working with this morning and figured out that if I do this in one long video, it crashes the program. So I'm going to do this in a bunch of little short videos to show you the process. So bear with me. If you watch each of these one after the other, you'll learn exactly what you need to do. Again, the program you're going to use to lay out advertising is Adobe InDesign CS4. If you've never used it before, InDesign is a program that is something that people who do layout of any kind, if you make anything printed, if you make business cards, if you make newspapers, magazines, posters, I mean anything that's laid out, this is the program that designers typically use. And so we're going to use that today because when we put the ads that you've made into the magazine, they've got to be the same format. They have to be done in InDesign. So let me just show you in this first video how to get to the program, how to get things going, and where to save everything once the time comes. What I'm going to do with this program is take an ad from last year and redesign it so you can see like side by side how they're done. But again, just to get started, where you find InDesign is if you go down to the left corner, you click on Start and go up to All Programs. There's a folder that says Adobe Master Collection CS4, and click on the pink one here. It says Adobe InDesign CS4. Now, when this program starts, I always tell my editors it's kind of like a version of Word, but for really smart people. This program is really dumb, and it does exactly what you want. Like if you start Word, it'll bring you a piece of paper, because most people, when they use Word, type something on a piece of paper. This one doesn't do that. It starts with nothing, and it says, okay, you want to start something new here, and if so, it doesn't know how big you want it to be. You could be a business card, you could be all the way up to a newspaper, or like I said, a poster. So if you look over on the right, let's say you're designing an ad for the first time, go over to the right where it says Create New, Document, and it's asking you right now, well, how big do you want this document to be? And if you look, it's already set up for a letter piece of paper. So that's pretty much the default, so I wouldn't worry about that. Your ad is going to be a certain size, so just hit OK, and it shows you a piece of paper. Now, a couple little things before I get into the ad, before I finish this video up. How you're looking at this piece of paper, notice it fills the screen in front of you. You can change the way that things are viewed, because right now, if you work, let's say I type something, it's all really tiny and it's hard to see. So the way you change the view of the screen is hold Control with your left finger and hit plus. And you can zoom in, and then you can hit minus and you zoom out. And just to give you an overview, notice how the piece of paper is kind of sitting on a table. This is called the pasteboard. If you're working with something that's more complicated than this, you can pick up pieces and kind of move it out to the table and move it back onto the piece of paper. Just a real simple thing. Okay, so let's zoom in. Oops. Control plus. There we go. Okay, so you move in a little bit. Now, when you work in this program, where you're going to save everything is there's a folder on the network that is available for the people in this class. And again, it's very important that you save your work in the right folder. If, let's say, we're working right now and we want to put this ad in, it's going to be in October and it's a size 1. You go to File, Save, and if you look, it's under the G drive. If you click up here, see it says Courses, G. So go to Courses, Classes, News Media Production, Advertising. Notice there's a folder that says Archives. If you sell an ad to somebody and they had an ad in the paper last year, you can click here and you can see for the last 4 years, actually, ads that have been laid out for the magazine, for the newspaper. So if you want to go back, if you need help finding it, I can help you, but that's where it is. So let's say we're doing it this year in October. The ad's a size 1. Just be sure you put it in size 1. And let's say, you're doing an ad for, I don't know, Culver's. Just call it Culver's. Okay, make sure it's in that folder. If let's say that Culver's wants the same ad in the next month, what I'll ask you to do is make sure you move it into the next folder. Okay, don't make me, there's going to be something like 45 ads in every magazine. It's really important that everything is in the right folder every month. So just open up the ad and do a save as and go down to November, size 1, put it in there, and then I know where it is. Okay, so that's the very basic beginning of this. Next thing I'll do is show you how to begin laying out the ad.